Okay, so we had started this design of two-way slab in the last lecture, and we'll continue from the last lecture only. Okay, so we had calculated the depth of this flat slab to be 175 mm, and therefore we considered the total depth to be 200 mm, and the effective depth along the longer direction was 175 mm, and along the shorter direction it was 165 mm. Okay, and I will continue just a minute. So step number 1 was completed. We'll start with the step number 2. The next step, just a minute, I'll redo this. Okay, the problem was we had the size of panel as 4.5 by 6 meter. Size of column was 300 mm by 400 mm. Live load was 4 kilonewton per meter square. Floor finish was 1 kilonewton per meter square. We have to use this M20 grade of concrete and Fe415 steel, and we have to design this interior panel. In the last lecture we had we have come up to design of calculation of depth of your flat slab. For that, what we use the span upon depth ratio. We use this span upon depth ratio, and from this span upon depth ratio we had span upon depth is equal to 26 multiplied by multiplication factor. Why 26? This value is for continuous slabs. This value is for continuous slab. Okay, we assume that the percentage steel we are providing is equal to 0.4%, and from this 0.4% AST, we have IS4 in page number 38, IS456. The values of different multiplication factors can be obtained from there. Page number just a minute, page number 38. It was page number 38. Just a minute, I'll show. Yeah. From this page number 38, we have different values of multiplication factor are given on this y-axis, and percentage tension reinforcement are given on the x-axis. We have considered this 0.4% tension reinforcement. We have considered this tension reinforcement as 0.4, and for this Fe415, we can calculate this value 0.58 into Fy. 0.58 into Fy, that is equal to 0.58 into 415. Fy is 415. This comes out to be near about 240. This comes out to be near about 240. So we have to use this line. We have to this green colored line where Fs is written as 240, where Fs is written as 240. Therefore, for 0.4% AST, the modification factor will be somewhere between 1.2 and 1.4. Here it will be 1.4, and it will be between 1.2 and 1.4. Therefore, we consider this modification factor as a 1.3. Therefore, we consider modification factor is equal to 1.3, and from that modification factor and span upon depth ratio, we have calculated the required depth. From this, we have calculated the required depth. The required depth was 177.51 mm. We can reduce this effective depth, but don't increase this effective depth. We can increase this. Okay, next what we have to do, we have to calculate the total depth. We have considered overall depth to be 200 mm. We have considered overall depth to be 200 mm. Therefore, effective depth comes out to be depth comes out to be 175 mm, 175 mm, which is shown here. Now effective depth along the longer direction will be 175 mm, and along the shorter direction it will be 175 minus 10 mm, because along the shorter direction, if this is your flat slab, if if this is your flat slab, the steel will be placed like this. This is your longitudinal direction, this is longitudinal direction, then longitudinal steel will be placed in this direction and transverse steel will be placed in this direction like this. Okay, means this steel will be like this. Okay, so the effective depth will be reduced by 10 mm or 1.5 along the shorter direction. Okay, therefore we have calculated this effective depth along longer direction and effective depth along the shorter direction, Now we'll start the further design. We'll start with the further design. Okay, now step number 2 is next step, that is step number 2. The step number 2 is calculation of loads which are acting on the this flat slab, therefore load calculation. Okay, now we know that first self weight of slab. Okay, we know that the weight density of your concrete is 25 kilonewton per cubic meter and the thickness of your slab is 0.2. Therefore depth of slab multiplied by density of your weight density of your concrete, that is 25 kilonewton per meter square, per cubic meter. Okay, so this is equal to, we have depth is equal to 0.2 multiplied by 25. So self weight comes out to be, this will be 5 kilonewton per meter square, 5 kilonewton per meter square. Okay, we need this all the loads in kilonewton per meter square because it is a slab, and on a slab the loads will be acting in kilonewton per meter square. Second number, the floor finish. If you go through the problem, the floor finish is given as 1 kilonewton per meter square, 1 kilonewton per meter square. If this value of floor finish is not given, if the value of floor finish is not given in your problem, then you have to assume some floor finish. Generally this value either you can get the value of floor finish from the IS 875. You can get the value of floor finish from IS 875 if it is not given. Okay, so in this particular problem the floor finish is given as 1 kilonewton per meter square. The floor finish is given as 1 kilonewton per meter square. Next type of load which is acting on this particular slab, that will be, just a minute. The next type of load which is acting on this flat slab, that will be your live load. So the live load which is acting on this particular flat slab, that value is already given, that is equal to 4 kilonewton per meter square, Therefore total load acting on this particular flat slab, the total load will be equal to 5 plus 1 plus 4, that is equal to 10 kilonewton per meter square, We can convert this total load in terms of factored load. Therefore factored load is equal to, multiply this 10 with the 1.5. This will be equal to total load into factor of safety. We have total load is equal to 10 multiplied by factor of safety for this load is equal to 1.5. Therefore factored load is equal to 15 kilonewton per meter square. Factored load will be 15 kilonewton per meter square. Okay, next this is the factored load. Therefore we get this dead load, we get this dead load is equal to we get dead load is equal to weight of slab, that is 5 kilonewton per meter square, plus weight of floor finish is 1 kilonewton per meter square. So this is equal to your dead load. Your dead load will be, just a minute, okay. Therefore your dead load will be equal to 6 kilonewton per meter square, 6 kilonewton per meter square, and live load is equal to, this is given value, that is equal to 4 kilonewton per meter square. Now next step is step number 3. Step number 3 is calculation of stiffness and alpha C value. Now why we are calculating this stiffness and alpha C value? Because we want to know the effect of pattern loading. What is pattern loading? I'll explain that when we go to this step, check for correction for pattern loading. Okay, first we calculate the stiffness and alpha C value. Okay, so step number 3 is, calculation of stiffness for columns and beam, for columns and flat slab, and stiffness, alpha C, stiffness and alpha C, where this alpha C is equal to sum of stiffness of columns on below and above divided by sum of stiffness of slabs, on right and left of your panel, of that particular panel. Okay, so now along longer direction, now let us consider along longer direction. Along longer direction for slab, okay, we know this stiffness is given by stiffness is equal to 4EI upon L. Okay, that's the same formula we used in the structural analysis. Therefore stiffness of slab, Ks, is equal to 4EI upon L, 4EI upon L, that is equal to 4 into, let us keep the value E as it is, multiply it with the moment of inertia of your slab. Now moment of inertia of your slab, that will be BD cube upon 12. Okay, definitely if this is your slab panel, then this will be B, this will be your the moment of inertia of your slab. This is your slab, this is your depth is given like this, just a minute. Okay, the depth of your slab is given like this. We know this is B, width of your slab, this is the length of your slab, and this is the depth of your slab, then the moment of inertia will be BD cube, moment of inertia will be BD cube upon 12. Therefore write down here BD cube upon 12, therefore BD cube divided by this L into 12, so this will be equal to 4. Let us keep this E as it is, multiplied by here B for your slab. Now we are calculating the stiffness along longer direction. Means in this direction, therefore B will be B will be 4500 mm. Okay, why? Because we have L is equal to 6000 mm. This is your slab panel. If L is 6000 mm, then B will be 4500 mm. Therefore 4500 multiplied by depth of our slab is 200. Therefore 200 cube divided by, again we already consider this L as 6000, therefore 6000 multiplied by 12. So stiffness of your slab, this will comes out to be 2 into 10 raised to power 6 E, 2 into 10 raised to power 6. So this is how stiffness of your slab is calculated along the longer direction or longer span. Now we have to calculate the stiffness of your columns. So for a column along the longer direction. Okay, now we know that the columns are placed in this manner. This is 400 mm and this width is 300 mm. Now for column, we know the stiffness is given by stiffness of column is equal to 4 EI, that is 4 EI upon L. So this is equal to, we have 4, let us keep this E as it is, E moment of inertia for this column, that will be BD cube upon 12 again. Okay, we are calculating, this is your first column, this is your second column, this is your third column, and this is your fourth column. Okay, now this is longer span, L is equal to 6000. Okay, okay, this is longer span, this is shorter span, that is equal to 4500 mm. Okay, and we are calculating the moment of inertia of column along the longer direction. Therefore this will become depth and this 300 will become width. Therefore this is equal to BD cube upon 12, and this will be, L will be here. So this is equal to 4E. We have B is equal to, now B is equal to 300 multiplied by depth is 400 cube divided by 12 into length. Length is our 6000. Length is height of your column. Okay, for length you should consider height of your column, that is given in the problem, that is equal to 4 meter. Therefore 12 into 4000. So stiffness of your columns comes out to be 1.6 into 10 raised to power 6 into E. Okay, this is the value of stiffness of column. Now we have to calculate, this is the stiffness of slab. Now we have to calculate the value of alpha C. Now this alpha C, value of alpha C is the ratio of sum of, this is the ratio of sum of stiffness of column above and below. Okay, this is the ratio of sum of stiffness of columns above and below divided by sum of stiffness of slabs on both sides of your column. Okay, so this alpha C ratio is the ratio of sum of stiffness of columns above and below divided by sum of stiffness of slabs on both sides of your columns. Okay, so that is equal to, we can write that is equal to sum of stiffness of column above and below, that is this value stiffness of column multiplied by 2, because we want stiffness of column above and below. Therefore 2 into Kc, or we can write this like this also, summation of stiffness of column divided by summation of stiffness of slab. Now this is again equal to sum of stiffness of column above and below, that is 2 multiplied by stiffness of one column, that is Kc right here, and again 2 here summation of Ks is equal to sum of stiffness of this column on both sides of your column, that is 2 into stiffness of your slab, because all the panels are same. Therefore this is equal to 2 into stiffness of your column is equal to 1.6 into 10 raised to power 6 E divided by 2 into stiffness of slabs, that is equal to 2 into 10 raised to power 6 E. Okay, this value is given here, Ks is given here and Kc is given here. Okay, so just calculate this value, this will comes out to be 0.8. This value comes out to be 0.8. Therefore value of Kc is equal to 0.8. This value is considered as calculated value of Kc, calculated. Okay, this is for longer span, this is for longer span. this is for longer span. Okay, now we have to calculate the value of this alpha c, that is the ratio of sum of stiffness of column above and below and sum of stiffness of slab on the both sides of your column. Okay, for shorter span, therefore let us consider B for shorter span. ओके जब हम ये इफेक्ट ऑफ पैटर्न लोडिंग कैलकुलेट करेंगे ना, तब आपको ध्यान में आएगा कि ये अल्फा सी की वैल्यू क्यों कैलकुलेट कर रहे हैं हम. ओके, सो फॉर शॉर्टर स्पैन वी हैव टू अगेन कैलकुलेट द वैल्यू ऑफ अल्फा सी. सो फॉर शॉर्टर स्पैन, now for columns, now for shorter span for column, the stiffness Kc, stiffness of column Kc will be equal to again 4EI upon L, 4EI upon L. So this is equal to, just a minute, 4EI upon L, this is equal to, just we have to put the values 4, let us keep this E as it is, multiplied by I. Now how to know the I? Now we know that we are calculating the, sorry, okay, this is our slab panel. Let us consider this is our slab panel, this is our depth, this is our depth. Okay, this is our depth, this is the width or shorter span, that is 4500 mm. This is your length, that is equal to 6000. Now we want to calculate the moment of inertia along the shorter span. Therefore the width will be equal to 6000. This will be the width. So this L in the earlier case, this will become B now. Okay, we are calculating the moment of inertia in this direction. Therefore this B will be equal to 6000 and this will become L, this will become L. Therefore the value of this Kc, that is moment of inertia along the shorter direction, that we can calculate, that is Kc is equal to 4E, let us keep this E as it is, multiplied by moment of inertia of your just a minute, आपण कॉलम साठी काढतोय, just a minute, sorry, हे मी स्लॅबचं सांगून दिलं. I'll just delete this. Okay, okay, we want to calculate the value of stiffness of this column. Therefore for columns we know that, just a minute, this is our first column. Okay, this is our second column, this is our third column, and this is our fourth column on which this slab is resting. Okay, this is imaginary line joining. Okay, this is 4500, that is shorter span, and this is 6000 mm, that is longer span. Again we know that this depth along the longer span is 400 mm and this depth width of slab along the shorter span is 300 mm. Again this is 300, this is 400 mm. Okay, now we have to calculate the stiffness of your column along the shorter span, means in this direction, if we consider this direction, then this 300 will become depth, then this 300 will become depth, whereas this 400 will become width, that is equal to B. Therefore BD cube, therefore you can write here BD cube upon 12 multiplied by this L value, multiplied by this L value. So this is equal to 4E multiplied by, we have B is equal to now here 400, therefore 400 into depth is here 300, that is 300 cube, BD cube upon 12 multiplied by, again we want to know, we need the L. Now length of column is given as 4000 mm or 4 meters, so that is equal to, we get the value of Kc is equal to, we get this value Kc is equal to 9 into 10 raised to power 5 E, 9 into 10 raised to power 5 E. Now we have to calculate the stiffness of slabs. Now we have to okay, we are calculating this for the shorter span, Now for columns, sorry, for slabs, for slab, again we have Ks, that is stiffness of slab, is equal to 4EI upon L. Okay, now here we will have this I is equal to again BD cube upon 12, BD cube upon 12. Now if this is our slab, if this is our slab, if this is our slab, this will be the depth of your slab. This is the depth of your slab. This is your longer span, that is 6000 mm, and this is shorter span, that is 4500 mm. Now we want to calculate the effective depth, stiffness along the shorter span, means along this direction, So we will get the width is equal to B. This will become B, and this 4500 will become this 6000 will become B, and this depth will be again 200 mm, that is 200 mm, that is 0.2 meters. Okay, so this will be equal to 4E multiplied by B is equal to 6000 multiplied by depth, D is equal to 200, therefore 200 cube divided by, we have L. Okay, now L will become, this will be our L, 4500, because we are calculating the stiffness along the shorter direction, therefore 4500 will be L, therefore 4500 multiplied by 12. Okay, so this Ks will be equal to, just a minute, this Ks will be equal to, just a minute, अपना कितना 9 into 10, sorry there was some mistake, just a minute, ये कैलकुलेट करो तो आप Kc की वैल्यू कितनी आती है इस फॉर्मूला से, ये जो फॉर्मूला दिया था, ओके, ये कैलकुलेट कीजिए कितना आता है, जो ब्लू कलर से मैं कर रहा हूँ ये कैलकुलेट कीजिए, ये कितना आता है, आई थिंक 4 into 400 into 300 cube divided by, okay, 9 into 10 raised to power 5 Kc. Okay, just a minute. Okay, this is correct, no problem in that. Next, calculate the value, this value, calculate this value, how much it will be, this blue value, this is Ks, so Ks comes out to be this will be 3.55 into 10 raised to power 6. So this Ks is equal to 3.55 into 10 raised to power 6 E. Okay, so we have got this Ks also. And we have, again we know alpha is equal to summation of Kc divided by summation of Ks, that is where summation of Kc is the sum of stiffness of columns above and below that particular slab. Therefore, it will become 2 into Kc. This will become 2 into Kc, and summation of Ks is the stiffness of slab on both the sides. So it will again become 2 into Ks. Just put the value of Kc and Ks. So it will become 2 into Kc is 2 into this was the value of Kc, that is 9 into 10 raised to power 5. So 2 into 9 into 10 raised to power 5 divided by, again 2 multiplied by value of Ks. Ks is here 3.55 into 10 raised to power 6 multiplied by E, again it is that in the numerator also there is multiplied by E. Okay, so we get this value K alpha, this value alpha is equal to 0.253. This is a calculated value of alpha. Again, sorry, this is again calculated value. Okay, this is for shorter span, shorter span. So we have calculated two values of alpha, that is alpha for longer span. Okay, this was equal to 0.8, and alpha for shorter span is equal to 0.253, is equal to 0.253. Okay, we have calculated these two values of alpha. Okay, now step number 4. Okay, for what purpose we are using this particular values alpha, I'll explain this in the next step. Now we have step number 4. Step number 4 is correction or check for correction due to pattern loading. Okay, check for correction due to pattern loading. Check for correction due to pattern loading. Now what happens, you can see there is a different value of dead load and live loads are there. There are different values of dead loads and live loads are there. Now in this direct design method, what happens, the moments are found out by considering all the panels which are loaded with dead load and live load. Okay, now when this pattern loading occurs, means the ratio of dead load and, just a minute, if the ratio of dead load and live load is more than 0.5, then what happens, there can be substantial rise in the moments which leads to the overstressing in the slab. Okay, there will be some increase in the moments when the dead load and the ratio of your live load to the dead load is more than 0.5, then there will be increase in the moment may occur in your slab. Now the IS 456 permits this overstressing up to 33%. Okay, this overstressing is if you go to IS 456, page number 56, just a minute, page number 56, I think. Okay, here it is given in this clause number 31.4.6, if this ratio live load to dead load, if it increases by 0.5, if it increases by if it is more than 0.5, that is the ratio of live load to the dead load, if this ratio is greater than 0.5, what happens, due to this difference in the live load and dead load, there will be overstressing of this slab will occur. Now the whatever calculations are made in the IS 456 that allows the 33% overstressing of the slab, okay, due to this dead load and live load different loading patterns. Okay, because you know that due to moment the redistribution of moment, the moments are adjusted. Now but this IS 456 limits this up to only 33%, up to 33%. Now if the pattern loading, the effect of pattern loading is more than 33%, then some corrections are required to be applied. Now some corrections are required to be applied. Now to limit this overstressing up to this 33% limit, okay, up to this 33% limit, the code requires that the column should have some minimum stiffness as long as the live load does not exceed 1.5 times, as long as the live load does not exceeds 1.5 times the live load, 1.5 times the live load. Now this overstressing problem is solved by what we will be doing. If there is some overstressing, if there is some overstressing means this value of alpha what we have calculated in the last step, if this value is more than the value of alpha c minimum, these values are given in the table number 17 of IS 456. If this value of alpha c is greater than alpha c minimum, what we'll be doing, we'll calculate some some percentage, we'll calculate some factor, we'll calculate some modification factor, and then what we'll be doing, we'll multiply that particular bending moments which are calculated with that modification factor. Now that modification factor is given by this particular formula, beta s is equal to this formula beta s is equal to 1 plus 2 minus WD upon WL. Here WD is the dead load and WL is the live load, divided by 4 plus WD upon WL multiplied by 1 minus alpha c. Here is the alpha c value we have already calculated, and divided by alpha c minimum. So why we are calculating this alpha value? Because we know if there is if this alpha c is greater than alpha c minimum, if this value is greater than alpha c minimum, then we have to apply some corrections to the bending moment. So agar समझो, if we get this value beta s is equal to 1.05 means that what we have to do, we have to increase the bending moment by 5%, because this increase is 1.05 means it is increased by 5%. So what we will be doing, we will multiply the bending moment in that particular direction in which this alpha c is greater than alpha c minimum by 5%. We will increase that bending moment by 5%. So for that purpose we will be calculating this alpha c values. Okay, we will go to the problem. The next step is check for correction due to pattern loading. Check for correction due to, इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम है? So now we have to take the check for pattern loading, okay, or correction for pattern loading. This is given in the page number 56, clause number 31.4.6, clause number 31.4.6, effect of pattern loading. What it says, in direct design method, when the ratio of live load to the dead load exceeds, what we will be doing, we will calculate this value of alpha c minimum from table number 17. The table number 17 is just given just below this, okay, it is given here only. Okay, from this table number 17, what we will be calculating, we know this ratio, live load divided by dead load. We know this ratio again, L2 upon L1. We have to just calculate the value of alpha c minimum, correlate this value of alpha c minimum with the values of alpha we already calculated. If this value alpha c is greater than alpha c minimum, okay, then we have to calculate the correction factor. The correction factor or modification factor is given by this particular formula, beta s is equal to something. Okay, by using this particular formula, if we get this value of beta s is equal to, let us consider it is 1.05, then multiply or increase the bending moment along that particular direction in which alpha c is greater than alpha c minimum with 5%. Increase that bending moment, positive bending moment, by positive bending moment only, not negative bending moment. Okay, generally for this particular problem we are solving, we will get the value of this beta s almost only 1%, which is negligible. Therefore for such problems, if you don't even if you don't calculate the value of alpha c minimum, then the value of beta, then also there is no problem. But in some problem or in the field, okay, from field point of view, or in some problem this value will be more than 5% or 10%, then you have to go for modifying the bending moments. Therefore as far as possible, if time permits, go for this step number 3 and 4. Otherwise depending upon the problem, you can omit this step also. Okay, we will continue with the problem. So as per this particular clause, clause number 31.4.6 of IS 456, please keep IS 456 at least with you when attending this particular ASD lecture. Okay, at the same time calculator should be kept with you only. Okay, so we'll check the correction for pattern loading. Now we know this ratio. What we have to do, we have to calculate these ratios. We have to calculate these ratios, that is L2 by L1 and then imposed load divided by dead load. We have to calculate these two ratios, but this ratio will be different for along longer direction and shorter direction. Okay, so we'll calculate these ratios now. Now this ratio is this ratio is equal to live load divided by dead load. This ratio, okay, we have already calculated the dead load and live load previously also. We have this here. The dead load is calculated as 6 kilonewton per meter square and live load is calculated as 4 kilonewton per meter square. Therefore dead load is 6 and live load is 4. Dead load is 6 and live load is 4. So put that values here. We have dead load is equal to 6 and live load as 4. So this ratio will be 0.666. This ratio of dead load upon live load is equal to 0.666. Now what IS 456 says, IS 456 2000 clause number 31.7 4.6, clause number 31.4.6, it says that in direct design method, when the ratio of live load to dead load increases by 0.5, if this ratio is more than 0.5, then we have to go for correction for pattern loading. We have to go for correction for pattern loading. Now if this ratio was less than 0.5, if this ratio is greater than 0.5, then we have to check for the pattern loading. Therefore write down just check for pattern loading. Okay, अगर ये रेशियो if this ratio was less than 0.5, let us consider it was 0.4. okay, this is greater than 0.5, then we don't have to check for this pattern loading. Also अगर ये pattern loading check ही नहीं करना है, तो इसके पहले हमने जो stiffness calculate किया था और अल्फा सी की वैल्यू कैलकुलेट की थी, वो भी कैलकुलेट करने की ज़रूरत नहीं रहेगी. ओके, सो नाउ वी हैव टू गो फॉर चेक फॉर पैटर्न लोडिंग. वी हैव टू गो फॉर चेक फॉर पैटर्न लोडिंग. सो लेट अस कंसिडर स्टेप 4A. ओके, फॉर लॉन्गर डायरेक्शन और check along longer direction. Check for pattern loading along longer direction. Now we have calculated this ratio live load upon dead load and now we have to calculate this ratio. Okay, कौन से रेशियो लगने वाले हैं हमें? लाइव लोड अपॉन डेड लोड, जो कि यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है हमें. ओके, इस टेबल नंबर 17 ऑफ IS 456 2000 ये रेशियो हमने ऑलरेडी कैलकुलेट किया है, IL अपॉन डेड लोड. नाउ वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट दिस रेशियो L2 अपॉन L1. वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट दिस रेशियो L2 अपॉन L1. okay, now therefore this L2 upon L1, so this is equal to, now for any case you have to keep in mind L1. now for checking for this pattern loading, L1 will be the direction which is along the direction in which we are checking the pattern loading. Okay, we have this shorter direction as 4500, this longer direction as 6000 mm, and we are checking the pattern loading along this longer direction, therefore this 6000 will become L1 and this 4500 will become L2. Therefore put here L1 is equal to 6000 and L2 is equal to 4500. This ratio comes out to be this is equal to this L2 upon L1 is equal to 0.75. Okay, now we have this live load upon dead load ratio. We have already calculated as 0.666, that is almost we can consider 0.67. We can consider this as 0.6. Just a minute.